What is going on with the Golden State Warriors and Andrew Wiggins? There's been a lot of interesting movements on this front throughout this week, and the speculation is high right now for him maybe getting dealt by Golden State. Their actions have spoken loudly here because they're in a really tight financial situation. They're going to have to relieve themselves of some dollars by trading away Andrew Wiggins and or Chris Paul because of how expensive this team currently is. And you can enter some drama and some controversy into the mix. Doug Smith with this report saying that Andrew Wiggins out of Canadian Olympic picture, according to a source. Golden State Warriors are playing hardball with the veteran that they are looking to move. Canadian team opens camp later tonight. And then Anthony Slater, mutual decision between the Warriors and Andrew Wiggins to prioritize his health and hold him out of the Olympics, I'm told. Doesn't preclude Golden State from possibly trading him, but it's a medical decision. Wiggins dealt with an ankle issue late this past year. So if I'm Wiggins and I want to play with Team Canada, I should be allowed to play for my country. If he's okay with not playing, then this is probably something where he's okay with it. It's understandable for both Golden State and Wiggins to try to prioritize his health. Wiggins needs to get back to the 2022 form and that year, 2021-2022, when he was an all-star. He has not been good since then. And then the Warriors want him to stay healthy because they either want him back or they need him to be healthy in order to facilitate a trade. Either way, seems a little bit fishy. Here's what Anthony Slater said furthermore on the Wiggins front. They're not dying to trade him. They're looking at a lot of options. He is a building block with the salary of $24 million. If they do bring in a wing, Paul George, obviously, is the wing that plays his position. Regardless, I think there's upgrades out there, but from what I've heard, they're not dying to get off of his number. I might be dying to get off of his number just because I'm trying to free up some money. I'm trying to improve my team, and a trade of Andrew Wiggins helps me do that. And I think that I can get a better player, pay a little bit more, or pay the same for an upgrade. Wiggins has not simply been the same player that he was back during that championship run. When I thought, alongside Steph Curry, he was the second best player in the NBA Finals that year. Rebounding, hitting big shots, playing excellent defense. And you look at the numbers the last 4 years, there is a decline that has taken place here. 18.5 points per game in 2020, 2021. Then 17. Then 17.1. Then 13.2. The three-point numbers, they've been a little bit inconsistent up and down. The field goal numbers declining a little bit. And then the defensive game has also suffered. And when you think about Andrew Wiggins, you think about him as a great athlete, an awesome defensive player. But in 2021, 2022, his defensive rating was 108.4. You want that number to be as low as possible. 2023, 2024, it's gone up to 116.9. So if Andrew Wiggins is not healthy, he's not hitting shots, doesn't look to be a confident player, he's struggling defensively, getting worse, and he's expensive. Those are 6 things right there I just brought you right off the dome that concern me about Andrew Wiggins. Deal or no deal? Should the Warriors trade him? Why for yes and for no? I know a lot of people like him. Some people don't like him. Sound off with what you think down in the comment section here. And do not forget to hit that subscribe button. This is your go-to hub for the best Warriors content right here on YouTube. Next up, let's talk some Klay Thompson here. Klay Thompson has some more suitors going into free agency on Sunday as well, and there's an increasing likelihood that a Klay departure is actually going to happen, come to fruition, and it's going to be a reality. As for those teams interested in Klay, Philadelphia 76ers, they have $55 million in cap space. It can go north of 70 depending on who they retain, who they bring back, and who they sign. Klay Thompson alongside Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid also makes a lot of sense because he can get a lot of shots along the three-point arc. They could use that within that offense. They don't want somebody who's going to handle the basketball too much where possessions die because Embiid and Maxey handle the ball. And then Klay Thompson could still play defense a little bit. Here's what Anthony Slater of The Athletic had to say about Klay. if Paul George goes back to the Clippers, which I would still categorize as the most likely scenario, the Sixers have a lot of money to play with. Of the potential Klay Thompson suitors, they're the ones that probably provide the biggest financial offer. 76ers cap space, as I said, $55+ million, and they can get that up to $72 million. So that's the room to pay Klay Thompson. He gets money, opportunity to chase a championship, and he fits. Team number 2, a team that just made it to the NBA Finals. That's the Dallas Mavericks with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. I think Klay going there would get so many open three-point looks playing with Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic because they demand so much attention. And the Mavericks just traded away Tim Hardaway Jr., Mark Stein on the Klay front. League sources tell the Stein line that the Dallas Mavericks, with some newfound financial flexibility after securing the Tim Hardaway Jr. to Detroit trade that I wrote about on Tuesday, slight flex there from Stein, are another team intent on exploring the feasibility of signing Thompson once he makes it to free agency. The Mavs are over the cap right now, so this would have to be a sign-and trade where the Warriors would sign him to the deal that the Mavs want to pay him, and then they trade him away, but then the Warriors get some assets back. And could you interest Golden State if you're Dallas in Maxi Kleber, a big who can shoot, even though you just drafted Quentin Post, who's a 7-footer who can shoot. And then Josh Green is a player who I thought was going to be a bust to start his career. It's actually ended up being a solid rotation piece who, in Game 5 against the Celtics, was one of the only players for the Mavs who actually brought it and was hitting shots. And you look at the salaries here, that helps Dallas with some salary matching for Klay, depending on how much the Mavericks are willing to pay him. I think that would be a good fit, and Klay could get paid. And then how about this team? I don't think a lot of Warriors fans would like this because the Dubs could be competing with Denver, but it is the Nuggets. Anthony Slater, Sam Amick. If the Nuggets lose free agent to be Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who has decided to decline his player option and enter the market, a league source said Denver has pegged Thompson as a possible replacement. I'm not sure how this gets done with Denver $75 million over the cap and not many sign-and-trade candidates on the roster, but when you have Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, and they demand attention on the offensive end of the floor. I mean, Klay Thompson is just going to be hanging out around the three-point arc. Yo, you give me the rock, bang, bang, Nugget gang, right? Tim Kawakami, I'm moving my odds on Klay Thompson re-signing with the Warriors below 50% for the first time, down to 48. I love the journalistic preciseness. The vibes on this are not tremendous. I think Klay ends up leaving. I think it's a tough day for Golden State and for him, but all good things come to an end. Where does Klay Thompson sign in NBA free agency? What is your prediction for where he goes? Warriors, another team? As you venture down there to the comment section, don't forget to hit that subscribe button here for daily and year-round coverage of the Dubs. The channel has been humming, so let's keep it going.